Well, hello, Jonathan. How are you today?
Hey Mirna, doing great. How about
Oh,
yourself?
it's so wonderful to welcome you to the Alive Design community. People are going to get so much
Pleasure.
out of what you offer, and today's video is to introduce you to the community. And so I have so many questions, but we won't let this go too long. So you'll
It's
have an
totally
opportunity
fine.
to share lots of content with our community. But first, we want to know about you. And so, Jonathan, I understand you use alchemical hypnotherapy. Can you tell me a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, so basically, in simple terms, alchemical hypnotherapy, it's a process. It's basically a tool, like a bridge between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind.
Mhm.
So it's literally like a bridge so that you can communicate with your subconscious mind
Mm,
using it's a technology, basically.
mm.
Um, it's a kind of technology.
Very good. When people used to talk about hypnosis, in the 60s and the 70s, I've been around for a little while. It was always to quit smoking, or it was for anger management, or is for weight loss. People found they were acting sort of compulsively, maybe, out of their subconscious, and they couldn't seem to regulate their behavior very well or their emotional impulses very well. And so commonly people would go see a hypnosis to change a behavior like overeating or smoking or drinking. But what you do, it expands so much more than that. If you can just kind of share what hypnotherapy has become and how you use it to change people's lives.
Yes, it has definitely expanded um, the realm of hypnosis. It has expanded over the years, but it's true. It can be used to give a command. Like let's say somebody wants to reduce or quit smoking, they can, if they want to, give a direct command to the subconscious mind, so that then it's like they don't have to think about not doing it. It's like an automatic mode, like autopilot. Like
Mm.
so, it just depends, like literally, on the command that you want to give your subconscious mind. Mind will follow. So that's why hypnosis is literally in the most simple way to describe it is just a state of like a state of being, like a state of mind, where you are so relaxed that you can get access to the subconscious mind and then give the command that you want. So that's like the basics. With alchemical hypnosis, it's a little different because then you're actually transmuting something. You are
Oh,
actually transforming your consciousness. So
oh.
it's not just giving a command, which you can if that's all you want to do, but
Mhm.
you can actually literally transform um, like your consciousness.
That's next level.
It is. It's more powerful.
Hmm. Well, and we have simple problems we try to solve. Some people can't be on time. Other people, have trouble letting go of a grudge or forgetting a bad memory. And so, do you do some trauma work? And it sounds like this has spiritual components as well.
Yes. So basically, in the alchemical process, we work with inner guides. So there's so many inner guides that we have, uh, which is not physical in essence, but they are there. So, for example, I'm sure most uh, people have heard the term inner child
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
inner father, inner mother, inner
Hmm.
mate. So we have multiple ones.
Hmm.
So you can work with each one of them if that's what you desire. But in my experience, I have found out that if you work with the main source, it's like the most powerful of them all, which is the higher self. It's
Hmm.
still an inner um, it's an inner expression of you. But if you connect with that which is your higher self,
Hmm.
it overrides um
Oh.
any other like inner inner mate, inner child, inner parent. So it's just tapping into that energy. It's just such an easy way to connect with the best version of yourself. Literally that simple.
It's a way just to go straight to the top, you know, like
Yes,
ask the owner of the company rather than all the levels of people to get permission,
yes.
permission.
So for example, let's say somebody wants to clear some trauma.
Yes.
Usually, the traditional way, it will be to introduce that particular client to their inner child. And then from there, we will have to relieve the trauma. And there's so many like steps, everything working just with the inner child. And then we can clear, which is like transmuting the
Yes.
trauma. It
Yes.
can be relieved. For example, the client is already in a very like relaxed state. They can relieve the trauma, but not as a child, but as an adult. So like that will be kind of an example of dealing with trauma. They will be relieving the trauma, but not as a kid, but as an adult, so that they can defend themselves. Like let's say they were abused or something. When they were a kid, they have no option but to be abused. Now you take them, now that they are in a state of hypnosis, they can relive the same scenario, but as an adult. So now they have power, tools. They can pick a gun. They can like literally defend themselves with all this power. But still, it doesn't connect. That experience does not connect them with their higher self, which is a completely different realm in itself. So instead of the way I see it, instead of like having to relive each trauma over and over and over again, which it works, I do believe it works. Don't get me wrong. But there is just such a more efficient way. I just don't like to waste my time nor other people's time. So it's such an efficient way to
We're
just
all
go
about
straight to the top.
efficiency. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and yes, so it can be used for clearing traumas, giving a command, or simply to just explore your possibilities. Who knows? You might be more creative than you think you are. You don't know because you haven't tapped into that energy ever. So it will surprise people, like all the things that awakes and inside of them once they tap into that kind of energy.
So one of the things I've heard about you, people that have worked with you directly, is that it seems surprisingly easy. That it's a little bit, it seems almost like that it's not real. As you take people through a process, maybe you introduce them to the higher self, and as they use this alchemical hypnosis process, people are surprised. Is it really that easy? Do you get that feedback very often?
Yes, it's actually because it is so simple, it makes look quite silly actually. I even myself, I believe that it's quite silly. I'm like, why is this not everybody doing it? But then if you really think about it, it sounds quite silly. Like, am I really just creating things in my mind? Like higher self something that actually exists? Or am I just creating it with my own imagination? Well, the answer is both. Because you do use your imagination. So in reality, you have to tap into a creative side of yourself. It's a creative imagination, simultaneously working with your subconscious mind. So that's the link there. It might look like a metaphor, like a dream, but the dream is as real as reality sometimes. So yeah, and it's easy because literally it's like a guided meditation. So the client or the person that is going to experience hypnosis, the way I do it is not commanding. Like that's not my style. I'm not the kind of human that is like, oh, look into my eyes. I'm going to take you to this place. I'm
All
more like, hey,
powerful Jonathan.
yes, no. I'm more like, hey, I have a method and I can guide. It's like a guided meditation.
Yes.
And I actually like to use alert trance, which means it's a level of trance that the client is always aware.
Yes.
So at any moment, even though they are under um, hypnosis suggest they are under a hypnosis.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though they are under like a suggestion state, they can still at any moment, if they feel any kind of like anxiety, or if they're, for whatever reason, they don't feel like they want to keep going or like go down that far, at any moment they can decide to open their eyes and like remember everything they just saw, and being back just like refreshed.
So they're
At
being
any moment,
supported by you, but not controlled by you.
yeah, everything is up to themselves. Actually, it can be silent process, or it can be out loud process. So let's say that I'm guiding them through some meditation, so that they can get in touch with their higher self. And then once they meet this being, they have the option, if they want to share whatever is happening, they can. They can speak out loud. But if they want to keep everything private, like I don't even have to know what they're doing, I'm just making sure that they're still on that state. And they don't even have to talk or let me know what the higher self said to them. Because sometimes you might be surprised. It's not always like completely like shiny. You know, your higher self might give you these solutions, but it's going to take some action on your part. Like you're going to have to get rid of certain friendships. You're going to have to get rid of some habits.
So does the higher self does a little tough love sometimes?
It is, yeah, it's tough love, which is what makes it like, it's what is sufficient. That's why it works. Tough love works.
Well, so tell me some of the reasons people come to you. So if people are listening to now and they imagine, I wonder if I should do a session with Jonathan. What are the kinds of things that people come to you for?
It's many reasons. It varies. Some people, they just want to experience like a very deep level of relaxation. Because let's say they suffer from like extreme anxiety, and all they want to do is experience like, it's like going to like going for a massage or something. They just want to experience like a peaceful session where you literally take charge, not of them, but like you take them into a place where they don't have to like think, and they can just let go and be completely relaxed.
Yes.
Other people are curious. Some other clients, they're just curious. They have heard or they saw something on the internet, like alchemical hypnotherapy, and they're like, oh, what's this? And then they start like looking, and they're just curious. So they'll be like, oh, I would love to try it. I'm like, fine. But they just, let's say some people, they don't want to clear any trauma or anything. They literally just want to get the experience. Some other clients, they actually literally want to clear some trauma in the past.
They have a specific goal that they bring to you.
Yes, they already have like something specific that they want to work on, which is usually ideal, because now you know what you're actually going to be working with. Or sometimes they just want to tap into that energy, like they know they're missing something, and they came in contact with this technology and they want to like use it so that they can tap into the better versions of themselves. So that is also another kind of client, like the ones that are like, hey, I want to become a better version of myself, but I don't want to do all the work, or I don't even know how to start. Okay, perfect. Let me introduce you to someone that is going to take it from there. And once you introduce them to their higher self, they build, it's like a relationship. So they actually have to maintain like on a daily basis, they have to tap into that energy, because sometimes we forget how powerful we are. So once they have access, it's beautiful, because then they can take a couple minutes a day and go back to their center, remember who they are, and it's so easy.
So after they've worked with you, they can take this technology and use it at home for sort of a repeat experience to calm their nervous system, or to work on a different challenge that they're facing. They're now enabled to do this methodology themselves.
Yes, that is correct. Once you introduce them to their higher self, and they actually feel comfortable doing it by themselves, which it shouldn't take more than like 3 sessions. They that's when they literally can be anywhere, anytime. Just take a moment, and they literally can have conversations with the higher self. Like let's say they're encountering a difficulty in their life and they need advice. It's better to connect to your higher self instead of going to your friend that is suffering from the same thing and that does not know what he's doing. Your higher self already knows. So once you're connected with that energy, you can literally have like conversations. You can ask for advice, guidance. It just depends what is it that you want to use it for. But yes, it's access on demand.
Very good. You know, one of the things that we're encouraging people in Alive Design to do is to try these technologies, the different techniques and methods, and then see the change in their life, see the change that comes. So can you share with us, people that have worked with you, what sort of changes do they see in their experience of their life?
Yeah, so the main thing is it's like a reality revolution that happens because all of a sudden now they're empowered. And that's a huge deal. So
I can control some of this. Some of it's up to me.
yes, literally. And also the inner, like the self-image. You know how each one of us have like a self-image? Even if they don't think about it, it gets like rewritten because now it's not just their perception as like they see themselves. Now they have a better perspective, which is their higher perspective. So their inner self-image, it changes. So now they don't see like a poor me little kitty that is scared when it goes out into the world. Now they're like, oh no shit, I'm a lion. I can, if I'm hungry, I can eat. If I'm not, I can just be peaceful and calm.
Wonderful. Wow, let's release the lions, Jonathan. So it was so great to talk with you and to learn more. And so you can be reached on Jonathan R Coaching at Instagram. Is that the best way to reach out to you? Okay, great.
That is, as of now, that is the best way to reach me. Eventually, of course, Alive Design, and also on my website in the future.
Oh, perfect. Oh, well, so excited to have you here in the community. So if you try working with Jonathan and you learn about alchemical hypnotherapy, post in our community and share your results. We're going to want to hear about these success stories. So welcome to the community. It's so wonderful to have you, Jonathan.
Thank you. It is my pleasure to work with you guys. So it's great.
Great. Okay, good. Well, we'll see you in Alive Designed.
See you later.
Bye.